Morning to my dear students. Hope you all are well. I, Harita Malani, working as an assistant professor in Electronics and Communication Department of MLB Textile Engineering College, Bhilwara. Today, in continuation with my previous lecture on subject Information Theory and Coding, I will continue discussion of convolution codes. This is the second lecture of convolution codes. So this convolution encoder we discussed in our previous lecture. How shift registers and modulo 2 adder consists an encoder. Outputs and inputs are shown over here. So shift registers are the series of flip-flop used. Modulo 2 adders are used. So now we will, in continuation, we will discuss few parameters of convolutional encoder. Convolutional codes are commonly specified by three parameters, that are n, k and n. So this is the difference. In other linear block codes and cyclic codes, we used only two parameters, that were n and k. Here the third parameter is very important. So first, n, number of output bits, k, number of input bits. M is the number of memory registers, because the operation of convolution will take place with previous outputs also. That's why number of memory registers are very important in this. So M is a third parameter added. Now code rate. Generally question is asked, what is the code rate of convolutional code? So it is the ratio of number of input bits to the number of output bits. The quantity k by n is called as code rate. It is the measure of efficiency of the code. We can say what is the efficiency or code rate of the convolution code. Now constant length, again a new parameter. The quantity L or K is called the constant length of the code. It represents the number of bits in the encoder memory that affect the generation of n output bits. It is defined by constant length L is equal to Km minus 1. So what it signifies? It is the data which is present in the shift registers at that moment. So that will define the constant length. L is equal to Km minus 1. Number of memory registers. K is 4, M is 3. It will be 3 minus 1, 2, 4 into 2, 8. So the constant length of my convolution encoder will be 8. This is a simple example. So now encoder representation. The encoder can be represented in several different but equivalent ways. They are generator representation, state diagram, tree diagram and trellis diagram representation. So one by one we'll discuss all these things. In linear block codes, Hamming codes, in cyclic codes, these methods were not discussed. So these are specifically representing your convolutional coding. So encoder representation, generator representation. Generator representation shows the hardware connection of the shift register taps to the modulo 2 adders, which we have seen in the diagram of convolutional encoder. A generator vector represents the position of the taps for an output. A 1 represents a connection and a 0 represents a no connection. This we know, when modulo 2 adder and shift registers are connected, one connection will be shown over there. If 1 is there, it represents a connection, and if 0 is there, it means there is no connection. It is just like your closed loop and open loop thing. We can relate that. N, K, L. Next point, N, K, L convolution code can be described by the generator sequences that are the impulse response for each coder and output branches. So N, K, L convolution code can be described by the generator sequences. We will come to know, we will discuss it. Now generator sequences specify convolution code completely by the associated generator matrix. See, in previous different forward error correction codes, we have seen generator matrix, generator polynomial. Here that same generator matrix is, we can relate both the things. So here it is known as a generator sequence, which specify convolution code completely by the associated generator matrix. Encoded convolution code is produced by matrix multiplication of the input and the generator matrix. So for example, the two generator vectors for the encoder in figure A are G1 111 and G2 101, where the subscript 1 and 2 denote the corresponding output terminals. These are the corresponding output terminals 1 and 2. So this we have seen earlier. in the diagram figure A, where 3 shift registers and 2 modulo 2 adders were used. Now second way of representing the encoder is state diagram representation. It's very easy, state diagram representation. Here different states of inputs are marked, and then that state inputs, how they affect the outputs and what will be the next transition state will be marked in the state diagram representation. So we will discuss this. In the state diagram, the state information of the encoder is shown in the circles. Each new input information bit causes a transition from one state to another. So what is there? In this, the state information of the encoder is shown in a circle. You will see that diagram. Each new input information bit causes a transition from one state to another state. Contents of the rightmost k-1 shift register stages define the states of the encoder. Rightmost means the last shift register will define the states of the encoder. The transition of an encoder from one state to another as caused by input bits is depicted in the state diagram. See, initially 3 shift registers were there in the figure A. Once it is cleared for the first time, then first bit will be introduced. So first bit introduced karenge, it will be 1, 0 and 0. So the transition of an encoder from one state to another is caused by input bits is depicted in the state diagram. Next, the path information between the states. The path information between the states denoted as connection represents input information bit X and output encoded bits C. For these two outputs G1, G2, what we are having, this circle represents the input. 0 and 1 are the different state, and what is the output? If 1, 1 is the input state, then 0 is transmitted. Then depending on this state, what will be the output? So it is mentioned over here, depending on whether 0 is coming or 1 is coming as next state. So this state diagram, these circles are the input bits. These paths are showing the transition when input bit 0 enters or input bit 1 enters. Depending on that, what will be the output condition? That is shown over here. So each circle will have input and output path depending on the next state. So this is the state diagram. Here K is 1. That means only 1 bit is transmitted. N is 2. Output is a 2-bit data. This is the output, 2-bit data. And L is 3 over here. L is 3. So encoder representation. Here in detail all the states are explained very nicely. From the state diagram, let 0, 0 state A, 0, 1 state B, 1, 0 state C and 1, 1 state D. State A goes to state A when the input is 0 and the output is 0, 0. State A goes to state A when the input is 0 and the output is 0, 0. This we can see over here. State A 0, 0. When input is 0, output is also 0. So it is shown on that circle only. That means it is not shifted to next state when first state is considered. Is it clear? Then second, state A goes to state B when the input is 1. So initially we assume that input is 0. Second time we are assuming that input is 1. So what will be the output when state A goes to state B when the input is 1? So what will be the output? So state A, input 1. What will be the output? Output will be 1, 1 and it goes to state B. It goes to state B. It is shown over here. State B. Clear? And the output is 1, 1. Now state B. We reach to state B. Now state B will move to state B or state C. So state B goes to state C when the input is 0 and the output is 1, 0. State B goes to state C when the input is 0 and output is 1, 0. So here it is shown state B, state C. So when input is 1, output is 0, 0. This we are showing over here. One by one, all the states are cleared. State B to state D is shown. State C goes to state A. State C again goes to state B when input is 1. So on all the states we have to consider whether input is 1 and then the input is 0 and what will be the corresponding output. Depending on that, we will draw this state diagram, and it's very easy to draw this state diagram. So I think you will understand this topic very easily, and you can have simplify some numericals from standard books. There are many standard books related with this topics. Thank you, students.